name is Mayuri. Okay, and I'm very excited to talk to you, all of you today. Okay, I hope you all had a great day. Okay, you all had a great Monday because I had an exciting day today, guys. You know why? Because since morning I was very excited because of the topic that I have got today to talk to you. As you all have seen the name of the topic is why network marketing, right? So you want to know why I was so excited since morning? Because I got a chance today to talk to all of you about something which I'm in love with. So all of you can relate with me, right? We all love talking about something that we really love, right? So today I got a chance to talk about something which I really, really love. That is network marketing. Okay. But it was not always like this. When I started this business almost 5 years back, that's not what the picture was. Okay. So I was working in an MNC. I was very excited when I got my first job. Okay, as all of us can relate, our first job, our first salary, we all are very excited when we get, because for the first time we get paid, right? We don't have to rely on your parents' pocket money. So I was very excited, for my first salary, for my first job. But then over the period of time, what happened is my excitement started going down. Okay, it was because of two reasons majorly, and I feel many of you on this call can relate with me. First thing, because of the money. First 2 months I was very happy with the money that I was getting, because I was getting something, after 4 years of engineering, after 4 years of hard work. So initially the money was good, I was happy, but then over the period of time I started realizing, oh my god, I hardly can do few things in the money that I am getting. Okay, and then I thought, okay, maybe it's the initial phase, maybe after 4 years, promotions, switching a company, my life would change, as everybody says. But then, thank God, I was a good observer in my company. So I saw a lot of higher management people, my manager, senior most delivery manager, all of them. They had 10 plus years of experience. Some of them were MBA graduates, IIT graduates also. And I saw their life was also the same. Even they were somewhere struggling with the money, even they were not happy, and even they didn't get the freedom which I actually wanted in my life. So the first part is money. And the second part, because of which my excitement about my job started getting down, is the freedom. So I honestly was excited when I started. My first day was like amazing in my job. My first month was amazing. But then after second month, third month, fourth month, I started getting a feeling that I don't like working for somebody else. Every time I need a leave, I have to think so many times. I have to take a permission. If I have to go to my hometown to visit my parents, I have to take a permission. And I thought, oh my God, working like this for 40 years, I don't think so. It's a good picture. Now, I don't know why so many people talk about getting a job, graduating, get a great job. Conflict started happening in my head because my parents had pushed me so much. We all celebrated when I got my job, right? But then there was a conflict happening because this is the moment for which I have been working so hard in my life. And when I finally got it, I was not that happy. Money part and the freedom part. So I was a looker. Okay, I wanted to do something in my life which will give me these two things. Simple. Money. And money means not just money. Money means I can actually enjoy my life. That kind of money. And freedom. So that I don't have to, listen to anybody or ask anybody, if I want to do something in my life. So because of these two things, I was a looker. And then at that time, this business came in my life. Now, when the business came in my life, I appeared for an interview and I said no after the interview. So my interview happened and I said no, I cannot start. Now, why I said no? Because I was super scared when it comes to the money part. Because unfortunately, my dad told me since childhood at Mayuri, if somebody is asking for money, if you have to give money, never go ahead with it. It's never a right thing. Stick to your job. Your job don't ask you for money. They just give you salary. So somebody asked me for money and I was like, oh my God, I cannot do this. It's not the right thing to do. Now I come from that mindset, that thought process. But then I wanted to do something. I was not happy with the job life also. So because of that, I started, you know, Bhagwan ka naam leke, praying to the God, ki, okay, let's start, let's do something. So just because of my friend, I started. Okay. Now I'll share with you something which very few people know. So after starting the business, now after starting, I was excited. Chalo, I'm starting a business now, big things will happen. I was excited. But then in my first week of the business, something amazing happened. And that amazing is, out of excitement, I shared with some of my close friends that I've started a business. I'm happy. I'm doing something in my life. So out of excitement, I shared. And then what happened next discouraged me to the next level. So all those close friends of mine in my office area, they started telling me, "Oh no, Mayuri, what are you doing? You were doing such a nice, good job. Why you're doing these things? Why you're stuck?" And they tried to demotivate me to the next level. They tried to convince me that I have not made the right decision in my life. Now you understand, I was already scared when it comes to the money. And when some of my very close friends, some of them were MBAs, they had, some of them had 8+ years of experience at that time. So I thought, yeah, I don't know much, right? But these guys know. So I think they're right. And I really got scared in my first week of the business. So you see, I was already so scared, and then I'm hearing all these things from people that I have a good relationship with, and they were demotivating me to the next level. Okay, and I got super scared. I was like, oh my god, what is happening? Because that money mattered to me, right? It was my hard-earned money. But then, guys, what happened? Why I'm still sitting here in front of you after 5 years in the business and telling you today that I'm in love with network marketing? What changed? What do you think? What has happened over the period of past 5 years? What do you think has changed? What happened? So that is something which I'm going to share with you today. Simple. Okay. Because of what I am still sitting here in front of you. That's something which I'm going to share with you today. Okay. So when they told me, when they discouraged me, there is one thing which I did right. Thanks to God. What I did is I got scared, but thank God I had an open mind. So I went to my upline and I shared with them that I'm really feeling scared. Okay, what exactly is happening? My money and everything. So I went to my upline, and from there everything started changing. Okay, so I did few things right because of which I'm sitting here today. First of them is I had patience. Okay, I got scared, but I had patience to listen. I was open to listen. Okay, and I had, brains to listen to the right resources, to do my own research from the right resources. Okay, because of these things, I honestly feel that I'm sitting here today, initially at that time, that I had the brains to actually understand, to do my own research, to actually understand what exactly have I started, not just getting discouraged by my friends. Okay, so first thing which I feel which happened with me, and I know it happens with most of you on this call. Okay, that is when it comes to the word business. Most of us, when we start this business, we are confused sometimes. We feel, okay, is it really a business? Because we are sitting at our home, right, on our computers. And then suddenly, when we start, we're confused. Okay, what's exactly happening? Is it really even a business? I had these questions on my head at that time. And one of the biggest reasons why we have these questions or confusions, I blame this to Bollywood movies. Okay, I blame Bollywood movies for this. Know why? Because see, growing up, the idea of business or the image of the word business that is there in our mind, we usually copy it from movies. So growing up, we all have seen Govinda movies, right? Govinda is a Bollywood hero. So we all have seen Govinda movies, right? Where he is like a big business tycoon. He dresses up well. He enters a big building. He has a big office. He has a nameplate where his name is written. Everybody is wishing him good morning. He has big files, on his table. And he has his own big office. He's like sitting down in, Tushan, in fashion. So this is when we see all these things, we feel it's a big business. We feel it's a real business, because that's the image that we have created growing up. That's the image which I had in my mind when it comes to a big business. If somebody is saying big business, okay, that's how the big business looks. If it looks like that, it's a business or a big business. So everything else which doesn't match that image, we get confused. Am I really in a business? Is it really a business? What is happening? So when somebody says, no, Mayuri, you have started a big business, the conflict happens. Why? Because of the image that I have carried since childhood from the Govinda movies when it comes to a big business. But guys, today I want you to be really open. Okay, everybody, some of you have just started this business. Some of you might have spent some time in the business. But guys, trust me, no matter how much time you have spent in the business, until and unless you get this part right, what I'm going to tell you today, you can't grow here. You can't actually succeed over here. So it's really important, people who have just started, guys, pay 100% attention over here, because you need to. Then only you will actually understand what I'm going to share with you today. And you actually need to understand this, because thank God I understood this 5 years back, right? And you really need to understand this today. So before getting into this, I want you to wipe that image of big business that we have carried from childhood, from the Bollywood movies. And let's understand from a fresh perspective what actually business is. Okay, so I'll just share some PPT with you over here, which you can see. Okay. Okay. So business in general in the world is nothing but, guys, exchange of value for money. Now, some of you know this, some of you might not know this, but I understand anywhere where the value is exchanged for money, the business is happening. That's called as business. Okay. So since growing up, if you go, you pay money anywhere and you get something in return, that's called as business. So we all have been a part of a business, as in the customer side, all our life. Everything around us, where the money is going out of our pocket, we are part of the customer side and the business is happening. So exchange of value for money is business. Now understand, guys, where actually network marketing falls. Because if you don't understand this, you will never understand, what kind of business we are and are we actually a business, right? So you see the exchange part over here. Now this exchange part is where this distribution comes in. Okay, so distribution is nothing but how the products or service actually reach the customer. That's what we call it as distribution system. Okay, so distribution is what? Nothing but how the product and service reach to you is defined by the distribution system. And it is one of the biggest, things that are out there, called as distribution system, is the backbone of every business. Now, network marketing falls over here, guys. We come under here, the exchange, the distribution. This is where network marketing comes in. Okay. Now, tell me one thing, before actually understanding our business, network marketing, don't you think you need to have some knowledge about distribution system? Because we belong to distribution system, right? So if I ask you this question, how many of you know how distribution system has evolved over the period of time? Do you know exactly based on which parameter we judge whether a distribution system is right or wrong, is better or not? Do you know those parameters? I did not. And I know most of you don't. But don't you think you need to know that? Because we are part of a distribution system, right? That's where, uplines always say, read the books, get the right knowledge first. Then only you will understand, what you're exactly part of. So today I'm going to share with you first thing, that is, if we are part of a distribution system, if we are a distribution system business, then exactly on what parameters a distribution system is judged or measured. Okay, so the parameters to evaluate a distribution system are three. What are these three parameters? The cost, the reach, and the time. Time is the speed. Now, I want all of you to memorize this, to understand this, to remember this. Cost, reach, and time. Now, what is a cost? Cost to set up a distribution channel. That's the cost. Reach means how many customers can you reach out to, or a customers, how many customers can reach out to you. Okay, that's the reach. Time or speed, how much time exactly the system takes to complete all these things, to perform all these things. That is the speed factor, which is the third factor. Now, based on these three factors, guys, we can actually determine how powerful a distribution system is. Okay, so remember these three parameters. Now let's get into, because see, you really need to understand this, guys. Now let's get into how the distribution system has evolved over the period of time. Okay, so how it has evolved. Initially, decades back, distribution system, the first step was mom and pop stores in the evolution period. The first thing was mom and pop stores. So mom and pop stores were used to distribute the goods, the products and services decades back. Now, what are mom and pop stores? Now, mom and pop stores are the small shops, okay, which used to sell a particular item. So one shop used to sell just one product or one category of product. That means what? One shop will just sell groceries. One shop will just sell the garments. One shop will just sell, vegetables. So there was a designated shop for each and every item that was there. So what used to happen? Customers had to, visit many shops to actually get all the items that they needed for their life. Because one shop, one item. That's how it was. So what happened in this distribution system? Of course, it was not efficient, right? Customers had to pay a lot of money. They had to travel to many places. Plus, reachability, cost ho gaya, reachability. Reachability was also limited because I can visit to only the shops in my area. Right? Time, it took a lot of time to actually, go to many shops and get all the items that I needed. So mom and pop stores were not that efficient. So what happened then? Of course, after a period of time, few people thought, why not club all these small shops under one roof? And that's how the concept of departmental store came in. Okay, so they thought, why not to combine all these shops under one roof so that the operational cost of a shop can go down. So the business owner, the cost that they had to bear, it can go down. Now, because of that, they can give some benefits to the customer. They can sell some products cheaper. So the customer got benefited, right? Because of the cheaper products. Plus, customer didn't have to travel to many shops, to get all the items. They have to just go to one place, they will get all their items. So reachability was better, speed was better, right? So departmental store, better option. That's how departmental store concept came in. But do you know what, guys? Surprisingly, departmental stores were declared illegal. Okay, they were declared illegal. Now, why they were declared illegal? You need to really understand this, guys. It's because when departmental store opened up, of course, people stopped going to the mom and pop stores. So the mom and pop stores business started getting affected. And these store owners were really rich people. They had contact in politics, they had contact in like legislation system. So what they did is they forced to pass a legislation that departmental store should be declared illegal because their business was getting affected. Simple. But do you see, guys, departmental store today? Do you see them today? Right? Yes, we do see them today. So what it means? That anything that is going to benefit the customers is going to stay no matter what, no matter how much revolt is going to be there. Now, the next step in distribution system evolution came, that is franchising. Now, what is franchising? Somebody said that we already have a success formula in one place, right? So why not to duplicate it everywhere? Why to reinvent the wheel, right? So somebody came up with this. That's how the franchising concept came in. Now, here the cost is very high for franchising. You all know the cost is super high, but the speed increased, the reachability also doubled. But again, in 70s, franchisee concept was also about to be declared illegal. Why? You all know. Because every time something new, more efficient comes in, customers prefer that, and then the old models start becoming obsolete, right? That's what happens. So that's what there is going to be revolt every single time if something better is going to come, right? So that's why they were also about to get declared illegal. But do we see franchisee concept today? Yes, everywhere. Now, the next thing which came in this evolution, guys, is network marketing and e-commerce. So, what is network marketing, guys? It's just a next step in the evolution of a distribution system. It's just a next step, a better step when it comes to the evolution of distribution system. So, network marketing and e-commerce combined with e-commerce, the speed, became 100 times more, because now you can sit anywhere. You can sit in India and you can do business in Vietnam, you can do business in US. The reachability was infinite. Time speed very high. You can sit in your home and in 2 minutes you can log into the portal and you can start this business, right? So in 2 minutes the speed is super high, right? Plus the cost efficiency is there. So in all these three aspects, these three parameters which I shared with you, this turned out to be the best. Okay, that's network marketing and e-commerce combined. And guys, QNet is a combination of both network marketing as well as e-commerce. Now, where do we learn all these things? If you already knew this, good. If you didn't know this, guys, you don't know this because you haven't read the books properly. It's already written in the books, right? So this is what network marketing is. But now I want you to understand, does this really feel like a business? Now, why sometimes for some of you it might not feel like a business is we have this concept in our head, that business means what? You can see this diagram on the top. If you have an idea, I want to start my own restaurant, I want to, I have this great idea, this great app that I want to develop. Do you have this great idea with you? Now from there, what happens to an idea? You design, you prototype, you do R&D, then it goes into manufacturing, then it goes into quality testing, MAD, right? And then it reaches the customer. So that's how the usual typical business looks like to us. So I feel that if I'm part of all these things, then I'm doing a business, right? So if you are a part of an idea, you are part of, designing, you're part of manufacturing also, you're getting the quality tested, then you're getting involved in the MAD branding of that product, then you feel I'm doing a business. Then I'm doing a real business, right? That's what we all feel. Hmm? But now remember this, okay? That's what the typical business for all of us looks like. I know most of us wanted to start our own restaurant or something. You all had a great, brilliant idea once upon a time in your life that you wanted to execute, but you couldn't, right? So now keep this in mind. Now let's go next. Now what QNet is actually, guys? Do you see this diagram? What QNet is actually? So what you did when you started the business, now the money that you gave, you got equal value product in return, okay, from QNet. And along with that, you got a chance, an opportunity to build your own network, your own system with the power of word of mouth. Okay. Now, what is the power of word of mouth? This part I'll come back. But first, guys, let's understand this part. Okay, what's happening over here? Guys, over here also, the idea is there. The product manufacturing is happening, the branding is happening, the quality assurance is happening, the prototype is happening, the R&D is happening. But you know what? All these things are getting taken care by QNet over here. So that you and me don't have to invest our money and our time, into getting into hassle of all these things. As simple as that. Because right? You know how much money it takes if you want to go into manufacturing, if you want to go into even one small aspect of section over here. It takes more than 50 years, more than 100 years. It takes, more than 50 lakh, 1 CR, 2 CR money to get into these things, to establish your own brand. Even after that, the chance of you getting successful and you actually hitting the market are 0.1% to 1% if you get into all these things. That. And that's why I know we all started this business, right? So over here also, guys, all these things are happening that we, see it's very fancy. All these things which look to us very fancy. So these things are happening here also. But we need to have a lot of gratitude. We are lucky that we don't have to get into the hassle of doing all these things. It is already getting taken care by QNet for us. For example, QNet is associated with so many industries, right? We have so many products and services. Now, one of the product that we have, which I really love, is BH Meyer watches, luxury watches. Now, do you know BH Meyer company is more than 100 years old. Now, when you started this business, in just few lakhs of rupees, you got legal rights, for BH Meyer. I'm just giving you one example. Now, it took more than more than 100 years for BH Meyer to reach at the level where they are. You know, it took them more than 100 years to reach to that quality, to reach to that level, to reach to that brand value. If you wanted to start your own BH Meyer, imagine you and me. It would have taken us more than 100 years, two generations maybe, right? But you and me are so lucky that because of this concept, in just few lakhs of rupees, we have got the legal rights for the distribution of BH Meyer in just few lakhs of rupees. You and me didn't have to spend 100 years into doing that, what BH Meyer has done. Now, this is just one product which I told you. Like that, QNet is associated with so many brands, so many industries, right? So if somebody else, somebody better is doing it for us, what's the problem? But no, you want to get your hands dirty into doing all these things, right? Then you will feel I'm doing a business. And guys, that's not the truth. This is the best part that has happened. Because I remember whenever I thought of quitting my job and doing something else, this is where I used to get stuck all the time. And I know most of you, get stuck over here only. That if I have an idea, I have no idea how to get it into market. I don't have that much money, I don't have capital. Plus, I have responsibility also on my head. So hand used to be tied all the time. That's why in our imagination we started business many times, but we could never actually start. Now finally this chance came in our life, and we got this brilliant option to build our own business, to build our own system, and we judge it. Now don't you think that's very stupid? Because this is how I understood, okay? This is how I understood that I am so lucky that everything is getting taken care for me, including the warehouse, the customer center, the deliveries, everything is getting taken care by. And this system to create, if you want to create from scratch, it's not possible. That's not an option, right? So now let me come to this part. If you understood this part, which I hope you understood, if you do, raise your hand if you understood this part, what's happening here. Okay. Okay, I can see. Now let me get back to this part. Now what's happening over here? Now you have got legal rights to build your own system, guys, your own organization, your own network with the power of word of mouth. Word of mouth is nothing but a way of network marketing. So guys, understand, network marketing is a method through which you can, create your own system. But the industry is direct selling. So we are part of direct selling industry. What is direct selling? Direct selling means we don't have to go through all those wholesaler, retailer, and all those people to reach the customer. The manufacturers can directly reach the customer. There is no need of all these hassle. So it's direct selling, as the name suggests, direct selling. So that's the industry. And we are using network marketing method to do our distribution, guys. With the help of what? With the help of the most powerful tool called as word of mouth. Now, what is word of mouth? When I heard it for the first time, I was like, what is this? No. I was confused. But then let me tell you guys, you and me, we all have been using the power of word of mouth since the time we are born. Okay, do you know? The school which we all went to, it was referred to us by somebody else. Somebody in auntie, neighbor, somebody told us, put your child into this school. That's why our parents put us into that school. The college that we went to, the subjects that we chose, somebody else told us, right, that this is right, go for it. The clothes that we buy today, somebody else says these are the good kind of clothes, that's why we buy them. The food that we eat today, somebody says it's good for your health, so we eat them, right? So all our life people has been referring us things to eat, to wear, to do, and we have been referring things to people. So let me give you a small example of the power of word of mouth, because I know many of you don't understand. I didn't. Okay, so for example, you see this Navratan Tel, right? Now, Amitabh Bachchan does advertisement for Navratna Tel. Now, when Amitabh Bachchan come and says it's good, use it. Still, we get confused. Like Amitabh Bachchan, to will say na. But if one of our friends has used Navaratna Tel for some time and he has actually seen the results, white hair getting converted into black hair, and he comes and tells us, bro, it works, use it, then I'm 100% sure if you have gray hair, you will immediately next day buy it. Because your friends have used it and they told you it works. That's the power of word of mouth. Your friend's word can beat an Amitabh Bachchan word also. Amitabh Bachchan saying it, you'll still get confused, you'll still doubt it. But if you're a friend, you can see the result, you'll be like, okay, this is the best Navratna Tel. That's the power of word of mouth, guys. And we have been using it since childhood. It's just that you never got benefited because of it. You went to a restaurant, you liked it, you told somebody else, bro, go eat momos in that restaurant, eat dosa in that restaurant, you know. And people went there, people had, and they enjoyed it. They got benefited because of you, right? So that's the power of word of mouth, guys, which we have been using since we are born. Everybody around us uses it. So using that word of mouth power, we have got a chance to create our own system, to create our own network. Now, what is a system? A system is something which, when you build, it gives you money for the rest of your life, even if you're there, even if you're not there. So it's like a tree. So you see, right? When a tree, you grow a tree, mango tree. So maybe you have to take efforts for a few years to make sure the tree is growing right. But once the tree is full grown, what happens? It gives you mangoes for the rest of your life, as long as possible. You just eat the fruits then and enjoy, right? That's what a system is. In other words, we can call it as a network also. Now, I know many of us underestimate the power of, not common man, network. We underestimate the power of network. Now, guys, understand today, building your own network is the biggest thing out there. Every single business, every big company out there, every big business out there is focusing on having their own network. It is said that your net worth is directly proportional to your network. So if you want to study more, go do research from right resources. Okay, so building your own network, we are so lucky that we have got a chance to build our own network, guys. Everybody is working on this today. Okay, but understand, guys, over here you are not working for QNet. Okay, you are not working for QNet. You are just partnered with QNet so that you and me don't have to go through all the hassle of the things which we just discussed, and you can just focus on this part. That's it, which is in our control. It's that. So you're not working for QNet, you're working for yourself. You're building your own system over here with the help of QNet, by partnering with QNet. It's as simple as that. So if every other distribution system is a business, why do you think you are not doing business? I asked myself this question when I was getting confused. Because I didn't see all these things happening, right? Idea, design, product, manufacturing, big office that I am sitting in every day. No, I didn't see all these things. That's why I was getting confused. That am I really part of a big business? Am I really doing a business? So I hope after seeing this, you understand that yes, you are doing a business, a real business. We say real business. It's just that we are lucky that we don't have to go through all the hassle. It's getting taken care by for us. We are partnered with QNet for that, so that we can build our own business, our own system, our own network. Okay, so I hope you're clear that every other distribution system is a business, then why we are not a business? It's common sense, right? We are a business. You are doing a business. It's a business. Business is happening over here. Simple. Okay. Now, do you know, recently Reliance has partnered with Facebook. Now, few weeks back, we see Adi Bhai shared an amazing, beautiful concept. He showed how that partnership has happened, what has exactly happened. So I would like to share that with you. Okay, because I think you need to understand this. So what has happened is, first understand from the point of view of QI group. So like Reliance, we have QI group. Reliance group is there, like that we have QI groups, right? So QI group is associated with these many industries today. So we have education, we have watches and jewelry, we have personal care, beauty, we are into technology, we are into luxury watches, we are into health and wellness, we are into home appliances, right? Many more. So we are associated with so many industries today. So this is what QI Group is, okay? And then we have this QNet portal. Now, let's go back. Do you remember those three parameters which we discussed, based on which we can evaluate a distribution system: the cost, the time, and the reach? So because of the e-commerce platform, this network marketing distribution system is already super fast. The reachability is very high. The cost is efficient. But there is a disadvantage over here. Over here, there is a disadvantage. These three parameters good, but there is a disadvantage. The disadvantage is trust factor and awareness. Trust factor and awareness. So because of that, this is where we come in the picture, guys. This is you. So this black person that you see over here, it's you. So this is where we come in the picture. So what happened is, now you got a product for the money that you have given, equal value product you have got, and you have got a chance to build your own business, right? So what happens is, this is you. Now you have your own circle of influence, right? This is your circle of influence. We all have close to 500,000 people circle of influence, right? Now what is your job? Okay, see, understand, your job or my job is not to push the products. We are not here to push the products, being a salesman, finding customers. We are not here to do that. Yeah, but on the other hand, now this has happened with me actually. I go on a vacation. Now somebody saw my watch. Now this is our company watch. I love this watch. So somebody saw this watch, they loved it and they wanted the watch. Right? So what I did is, I made sure that they know the link. So they went to the portal. Okay, they bought that watch. Now while buying that watch, they put my code. They put my code and then they got the watch. So did these guys give me the money? No, they didn't. They gave QNet the money and in return they got the product. But just because my code was mapped, some share of the profit I got. Now this customer will be mapped to the rest of his life. Anything the customer will buy from me in the future, I'll be getting benefited because he's mapped to my code. Now this is how it works. Okay, but guys, understand, we are not running for these customers. We are not looking for these customers. You are not a salesman, guys. We are not salesmen. What we do over here is, with a very tedious, with a very careful selection process, we select few people from our circle of influence who are serious in their life, who want to do something in their life, who are ready to work hard, who want to